is just already starting. In fact, the green light and the end of the pit lane as Mansa Ogier makes his way over to the McLaren pit wall. And they are pretty excited there, I think, McLaren, I should think, about the fact that Fernando Alonso has got himself into the top 10. He's in the battle still. Can he do any better than 10th? I suppose that's the next question, David. Or is 10th going to be his lot? He got into the top 10 last year here, but in the end, he had to settle for 10th on the grid.
Well, the guys in front of him, from Massa and Perez, were less than a tenth quicker. In fact, they were about three thousandths of a second quicker. So technically, it's possible. I think it's already pretty impressive that he's managed to make the top 10. We're just looking through our stats and the downtime there. The last time, or first time he made the top 10 last year was actually in Spain. So showing characteristics of sort of Nigel Mansell, keeping power.
He has, but that Ferrari's getting closer and closer, isn't it? I mean, we have to, I think, disregard Vettel's Q1 run because it really wasn't representative with all those issues and the tyre temps were all over the place. Q2, he was right in the heart, and we heard that chat between Dave Greenwood and Kimi that he had the potential to be right up there as well. So it's all to play for, and it's going to come down to who hooks the sectors together and who puts that lap together. Just quick one on sectors. I was looking at Fernando Alonso, by the way. He did an equal middle sector time to the two Red Bulls, which is pretty impressive, it has to be said.
That's very good, yes. That does give us a little bit of hope that some of the circuits, we've got Monaco next, not for Alonso, of course, because he's vacating his seat for Jenson Button, but it gives us hope that certain circuits, they might show some form.
Yeah, he's an easier corner count when he goes to Indianapolis, when he escorts comes on the big oval.
He's been quite a long time, so doesn't he? So here we are then, building up. Let's hope so, yeah. Let's build up now to the battle for pole position. And Valtteri Bottas is the product of the Big Four to be going across the line to start his lap. The Finn, who has had one pole position already this year, and of course comes off the back of winning his first ever Grand Prix. Behind him, Lewis Hamilton's just going through the last corner, Vettel's going through the last chicane, and Raikkonen's turning into turn 13. So they're all pretty close without hindering each other on the lap. That's the key thing. 200 miles an hour, more or less, as he goes across the speed track, flat out, no doubt, through long turn 3, and trying to keep it as tidy as possible. And the first checkpoint, 318 for him. Let's see how that matches up with the likes of Hamilton and Vettel as well. What's the trick here, David? What's he looking for right now on the lap?
Well, the next corner is pretty tricky. Downhill with the wind behind you, very short apex, and immediately kicks to the right. He went off there in pre-practice, using all of the curve, but no mistake. The consistency was flat through 9. Great commitment and turning, using all of the would be absolutely fine to use that rumble strip from
Here's Kimi Raikkonen. Everyone else did 21.8, he did 21.7. Second sector, as you can see, has just come up, and Bottas is quicker in that sector than Hamilton.
Vettel, yeah, absolutely. So Bottas looks like he's going to be a little bit quicker than Hamilton on this lap.
Oh, he's a bit sideways. He got it together, he kept his foot down, he backed over the curve on the outside, and it's a 119.3, fastest lap so far, under the existing qualifying record set by Mark Webber some years ago. Hamilton comes down a 119.1, so that final sector of Hamilton was brilliant. Vettel is only third on the lap, and he gives away half a second. What about Raikkonen? Raikkonen is third. He's a little bit faster. Final part of qualifying, and particularly in the hands of Lewis Hamilton. He has set a breathtaking pace. Good for you.
That was impressive. Well, Bottas, there is more time to come. He made this little mistake there as he got on the power, unleashed all the torque from the hybrid engine, and just loses it. And, well, what do you reckon, Ben? 10.5?
Yeah.
Maybe more, actually.
Crucial place, isn't it?
Could be the difference between pole position and second.
It could be. Another set of tyres still to be run, of course. Max Verstappen crosses the line. He's fifth, a 119.7. Look at that. He's only a tenth slower than Vettel. That's impressive. Very impressive by Red Bull.
Yeah, they've been consistently about a second away. And that shows that their upgrades on this circuit have certainly brought them back into play.
Big gap back to Ricciardo, so I don't know whether there was a mistake on his lap.
No, he is the master.
For early rating onto the main straight.
derating, yeah, that means he's not getting the full discharge, the full complement of 160 horsepower stored in those battery packs. And I was just going to say Daniel Ricciardo, he may be slightly down right now, but if we assume he has no technical issues, he is the master in that team of just pulling out the lap when it really counts.
Yeah, he's going to need to on his final run because he's a little bit off Verstappen at the moment. Let's see, this is Verstappen's lap.
So second last corner, last turn. That was all fairly straightforward. Slow-mo off that front wing looking fantastic.
Yeah. Lots more straightforward Red Bull, but lots of new bits on the car. Not all of them very visible to us, but it's delivering good performance here this weekend. There's no doubt about it. Very good performance indeed, and giving us hope that as we go through the year, Red Bull are going to be able to challenge the top two teams. But right now, it's Mercedes on top. In fact, it's Mercedes 1-2. Are they going to be able to sustain this remarkable record of starting 1-2 on the grid here since 2013?
Well, it's not over. Raikkonen, within a couple of tenths or so of the fastest lap, we know Vettel, when he gets it all together, can be a little bit quicker than Raikkonen. So it's
quicker than anybody else, nearly 4 tenths faster than Bottas and Raikkonen in just the final sector alone.
Yeah, we saw Bottas make that mistake though, and we have to assume Raikkonen, who was quick through their free practice, but that is a mighty lap time, and that bodes well for Monte Carlo. Normally that last sector is a good indication as to who's at one with the car. You've got to be patient in the sector. There's a lot of letting the car roll rather than sort of being hard on the brakes or hard on the throttle.
Yeah,
it's a smooth style, works well there.
Traditionally they're good on those kind of sectors. They have been here in the past, but funnily enough in Russia the final sector was a little bit of tyres to work there. Here, on this more abrasive surface, they're not having any problem getting the tyres to work, are they?
Yeah, the rubber is the only thing touching the road, so it's crucial. And you have a car which brings the tyres up to temperature and doesn't overcook it. So this is turn 12.
Final sector.
I'm going to go with a snap of oversteer on power. No, not really. Maybe in 13 then. No, nothing really there.
No, looks pretty neat, tidy, didn't it? Nothing obvious that he lost time at. It may just be that Mercedes has got great performance in that final sector.
And all the teams are able to, through sound analysis, get a very accurate overlay of the performance of their competitors. So they can pretty much get an overlay that shows the speed of their competition through each and every individual corner, and also the time on the straight. And that's why when you hear teams saying we're slow in sector 3 or we're slow in sector 1, they're not just looking at the lap time, they're actually looking at the pure performance in certain areas based on that sound analysis.
Alonso on his way out. You might be wondering why we haven't seen Ocon, Massa, Perez and Alonso out yet, and that's because they've used more sets of tyres to get to this point. Lots of support for Alonso. More sets of tyres to get to this point, so effectively they've only got one set of tyres in this final part of qualifying to really go for it, whereas the top teams kept a set back and they've got 2 opportunities. So that's why we've had this little run with the 3 teams sending their cars out. But now it's starting to get busier as everybody in the top 10 is going to have a go at it, see where they end up on the grid. 10th is the worst they can end up, of course, but how much further up can they get? Beating the likes of Red Bull, let alone Mercedes and Ferraris, a tough one for Force India, Williams and McLaren. But well done to Force India for getting both cars in the top 10. That's the first time they've ever done that here in Barcelona. And it's a bit of a bogey track for them in terms of qualifying in the past, and yet both Ocon and Perez are in the fight here, so that's really impressive by Force India, holding on to 4th place in the championship, actually quite comfortably at the moment from Williams. So another tremendous effort by them. Out comes Sebastian Vettel, and the track is going to be busier, but it will be Alonso who will be the first to go on to a flying lap.
Alonso choosing to be one of the last to go out. The upside of that is that you've got all of your other competitors, minus that Red Bull, having put some more rubber down on the racetrack. The downside is if anyone has an incident, a yellow flag comes out, then you lose the opportunity to complete your lap. So first man coming around to open the lap will be local hero Fernando Alonso, just coming out of the last chicane now.
Yeah, and sweeping through the last corner. So it's going to be quite hard to watch them all at the same time. Impossible, really. But we'll try and monitor the lap times for you. Alonso has just already got across the line. The graphic, of course, is concentrating on those guys fighting for pole. Bottas, Hamilton, Vettel and Raikkonen. And those guys are the ones who surely are going to be fighting for the fastest spot on the grid. Bottas. Well, what a lovely opportunity this is for him. The man has driven for Williams the last few years, really going for it to try and take pole for a second time this season.
Yeah, but this is not great preparation. He's having to hold way back from Massa, who was holding back from Perez. So Bottas now has really no opportunity to get heat in his brakes. Get the clear lap ahead to get into your preparation. Just watch the braking. Is he tentative? He gets his apex nicely.
That was important that he nailed that, wasn't it, after the mistake he made on the first run.
Yeah, beautiful line through 3. It's a mighty corner. Uphill, slightly blind as you carry the speed out into 4. Fast entry. Try and ride it round the outside as much as possible. Drop down the hill under braking into 5. Little lock up and correction. Gets away with it. Doesn't get as wide as Hamilton, but that'll just start to niggle away at him. He's just marginally slower than Hamilton in that first sector.
Meanwhile, the other cars out there, Massa's going quite well in that other group, but let's focus on the pole.
Sorry, Ben. Vettel, fastest man of all in the first sector. He has got a full 10th quicker than Lewis Hamilton.
Wow. So suddenly Ferrari's pace looking strong again. It is all going to come down to this last lap. Who is going to get pole in Spain?
Hamilton, fastest man of all, 2 tenths quicker than Bottas.
In the middle sector, Bottas is about to finish off. He got it a bit wrong here, remember, on the last lap. That was tidy. So is he going to be faster than what we've seen already from Lewis Hamilton? Does he make it a new target? No, he doesn't go faster than Hamilton's already done.
Yeah, but Vettel has in the middle sector. Vettel is in the hunt for pole position.
Hamilton crosses the line and doesn't improve on his lap time. It's now down to the Ferraris, and Raikkonen and Vettel are both going pretty quickly, although Raikkonen's lost time in the middle sector. It's really down to Vettel, I think. Here we are, riding on board the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel. Can he snatch pole position? No, he can't. He's just missed out. And I think it won't be enough for Kimi Raikkonen either. We'll see. But Raikkonen was a little bit slow in the middle sector. He's coming across the line, and Raikkonen, no, it's no improvement for Kimi Raikkonen. He stays 4th. Lewis Hamilton takes his 3rd pole of 2017. His 3rd pole position here in Barcelona as well. And by the way, it's the 250th time a British driver has ever taken pole in Formula 1.
Watch this. Vettel has given pole position away. He was slower in this final sector. Small lock up there. But in 28.1 final sector in comparison to Hamilton's 27.6. So Vettel had the pace for pole position.
So for the first time in 5 years, Mercedes don't have the front row to themselves here, because it is Vettel who has